Ubenyo bia o te say Captain Smarter. Benyo bia o te say Ivan. Or the brofo be kan obon natural. Na wo kono ye de twi kire wase a undidi biom. Me aminu apeni. The one and only independent presidential candidate, Kofi Granting Waha, Kofi Morning.
Captain.
Bibi Aboko.
Ye mamuna yako.
Joso.
Unia family and media general, meaning say, you've built a great relationship with Yenu Abia or for me. Inti Yema Ebusia Adofo and Namfo. And media general food na and especially Captain will show you so. Nyankufa mofai ni ayebhuno na yefe. Inti Yenu Abia no so Onyankopon so no monfa no into yemaye. Na wune de yaw. In fact, make a cry was seeing good. So nya denga ni ebe as see ebe with TVS BBI come on now all of a sudden in a flicker now all is lost into yesre baby Paman Ivan my name say Captain
Ivan
Captain
Akwaba
yeah bon I mentioned what
T4
I think that this morning the Ghana phoned him. I think that this is a woman full of life. Dr. Grace Bodua and Mabaha Babato and I've seen Mahuna on several platforms. A woman full of life all of a sudden, but that's not such an incident that happened. I think I hope that when then we say Obiwana wow tears with their two hopeful. And I think that is what we can say now. Abusia phone say more shedding. Yeah.
And then officer can was.
Oh, and I think that me say ECOWAS issue or when your friend is a flag primary see or more at 2 weekend so sika channel as a for high count. Captain, I think that ECOWAS you better now on several occasions. I can't how or more loose grip on the continent. And member states now have come to the realization say the body is a useless body. Or rely on ECOWAS for anything because the agenda yeah they set it up the purpose and as for among the set it up by the forefathers in and Mali Burkina Faso in Niger culture say or betray those fundamentals those principles now father by because the kind of economic cooperation regional integration and that kind of your friend is saying cooperation among member states say media promote to trade yeah ensure political stability yeah ensure sabi adia kochia. This is a mother body that cares about the welfare of member states. Yabatinum and making sure that this body abaya white elephant condoning all sort of nasty stuff. And then these countries have come to the realization say ECOWAS no longer serve the purpose or more free serve. That is why these things are happening because you ask yourself say Samra coup no shasi na ekoso circumstances are leading to the coup no proud no na ECOWAS as a mother body had every opportunity to intervene and on several platforms SCO Togo ye can say something had to be done sabi betimi save the situation but yet ha na Cote d'Ivoire ala ye fa say Alassane Ouattara ye nyina ye nim circumstances are leading ya Papa will be a president in the Hugua course of Cote d'Ivoire. Wababedi president, we know we're trying to turn a rear. This guy had the infantry to massage the constitution and Yafasa gave himself another lifeline. ECOWAS and Kashi and Faho, nothing was done about the situation. Then another coup SEO baby, yes, my delegation, not such a joker was part of the delegation. Say, Yanko Kancher Domboy, I say, coup now I am on reverse it. When this guy has engaged in what we call constitutional, your friend is saying, coup d'etat against the people of Cote d'Ivoire. So another day, leverage bang and ECOWAS, or they coming on board. And over the years, we call the Sahel region, the incursion of this, your friends, mercenary groups, other insurgent group, ECOWAS Masabi, placed in a very hostile peace anyhow. So the understanding is ECOWAS better mobilize certain forces and certain intervention be abwa ama yetimi akebu the situation a creepy in. The mother body has been sitting aloof, doing nothing about it. And about the kind of rank between French-speaking countries and France and Kasa. In the face of the ECOWAS, a debate ECOWAS AFR home. Yenima for Matsina Kunyaso for almost 40 years in Africa. Omo say near man circumstances and nipano namune eyade asabi enkoye. As a mother body, your job is to intercede on the behalf of the people. So if you're able, what now to say responsibilities when you know what shake all these responsibilities in you know. God know the day no soon That is why these countries now have come to the realization say being part of ECOWAS or not being part of ECOWAS, you know, idea and benefit be because other countries like US and as for impose sanctions on you, you know, so within the community of world affairs, you know, over so far. But ask yourself, say, what is the economic power of ECOWAS? ECOWAS bet to make us say, my impose economic sanctions on anybody, even in Africa, in West Africa, trade among ourselves. How effective said it here? Because train every Ghana ha me and time to Cote d'Ivoire because train said they are building railway no hano a dine said the Cote d'Ivoire building there a dine said the Togo is building there so we can't even use train to enter our African countries, you know. So it is very easy to trade with China, with European partners, with America. It's so easy than say you trading among ourselves. So you ask yourself, say ECOWAS now buy for economic cooperation, for regional integration, no, as some person is saying. So, how to live in the usefulness, I will lose in the essence. As I buy a package of old guys, I said, we won't committee, I'm a catcher, so we a mistake. Now, I'll be back and I'll be a manure gumet and pharmacy shop because I'm Kokra Fong Kwan said you'll be a yare and I'm a quantanase and I'm more about old age issues, then I say for pertinent issues affecting the continent where you expect people to have come to the realization, say, Africa. So, maybe a advantage no other continent in the world and they will be when it comes to human resource, natural resources and so forth. How do we tap into these resources? At least you bet me a leverage for economic transformation. The youth of Africa move away from the continent. Move go into modern day slavery in the Middle East. Nano miss your shows videos. Ghanaian ladies in Egypt. Now Egypt you cry and you see people going to Middle East you compare there aside slavery there is nothing there. So people go and sell themselves into modern day slavery when we have a much potential where you lander yet now you created those opportunities. Now people will rather be coming here access to the kind of wealth of Africa. But I'm saying Africa has become a harvesting ground for the world powers, and China is here. If you go to DR Congo, the Tenki mines, one of them your friend say biggest cobalt, your friend is saying mine Africa Omone China gingen in Topa and easy and several other goods Africa higher ngrofo we take over Ghana na yenya dia sebi yenso akwakoton betin high. So adwin ya de dwin ekase me take a peep into the future. Now I draw my plans in such a way say met me leverage tap into the talents and the potential say build something substantial out of them. No leadership in our part of the world no is never interested in all these things. So I know that the youth have become desperate, they are useless, and there is nothing that they feel say they can do. They feel useless within them because there is absolutely nothing for them. That is why I'm for person over to quite none of my than to sit here. So to me, ECOWAS and one else will blame no. So a person taking it serious, they need to rebrand and repackage themselves because where they are at the moment, you know, say a country belong to ECOWAS or you don't belong to ECOWAS, you know, difference behind because ECOWAS ain't coming with any advantage. They celebrity days, then as a forum. But what actually they are doing on the grounds on you have Africa, Africans are benefiting, you know, say yes, this is the real impact of ECOWAS, you know. We are not seeing those things. So at the end of the day, you know, countries come to the realization there, also name fast so captured. Because for people to come to the table, you need to have a leverage, you need to have certain advantage. So if I'm coming to the table and there is nothing that you are offering me, because ECOWAS should be so attractive to the stand say member states should your friends fight for its membership. But I buy a condoning grant for all sorts of nasty and shitty political stuff. Man for to me, amend the constitution, give themselves lifeline. They still proud themselves of member of ECOWAS. A man for to me engaging all sort of your friends of reckless activity. Anti-Kroma na Gambia. Ghana for ECO Kuo Monen as a forum. Sa story in the Coco saying, Bessin families or more for your victims guano ye account for ye boni pato in the broad day ama man for babonti be converse here ECOWAS couldn't do a thing about it. So to me, if these countries are moving out, it's because ECOWAS are losing the essence, are losing the way. But yeah, no mistake. Say a co-partner with a certain foreign interest, and that one will solve our problems. But who say some of these countries, are trying to build certain alliance with Russia and other countries? You see, those foreign interests, they only Ghana interest at heart. This emerging and as Africa interest at heart. Me say China on the foreign policy are ordinam a very aggressive and very hostile policy of exploitation and ordinam on a timima alone or be mouse high phone one was with Japan on fan chow. That is the kind of policy. And Russia, the SS is even people, our countries around them. Abra, Benin, a country in the Eastern Europe, and we are part of Soviet Union, and be a journey away from Russia. So these are countries you cannot rely on them and say, we are breaking away from this and we are going to join this. They will come and exploit us. That is what we need to realize. How can we take a step? Now you realize the potentials on the continent. Now you realize the human resources are here. Now you turn those things into something productive. I am for now say answer ye be how among ourselves. You bet me open market trade among ourselves. Quite bet me trade among ourselves. I am for because that is the ultimate thing that we need to focus on. Now now to when Niger. No menam in terms baby captain. About 21-year-old boy. Sa adia na ye pia se ye de to turn adia no and we pia sa na wakode baby wa bre. This is a 21-year-old African boy wakra na mama ne papa from Mali aba Ghana and also to turn adia akwa to turn adia de kwa. But this is a continent filthy rich. Among for proud almost said to me, just a life among for live on the continent leadership. Now the life, the misery these poor boys are going through. You don't see them, but sometimes just take time and look at them. There is no future, absolutely nothing for them. This is the kind of continent I have. So ECOWAS the focus should be about strategically, you ever build that kind of relationship, you build it. Youth no Sabaya umbenya life, but we are not interested. So me ECOWAS there a useless body full of old men and women they just talk about their dying age for nothing sensible in their cost because so the continent lies bare right in front of us and the number of coups I see in the last 3 years. Ask yourself, say ECOWAS up to the task and in the coming days, don't be surprised if a lot of these coups will spring up because near man coup within the continent, and nobody is stepping up to intervene. So what is almost they were amassing troops to go and attack them. Okay, Tinubu ni na for Tinubu no na mo no sebi uja no nkasa kwenti minjare. Obi na begare no. And such an old man saw a president. Because look at him, somebody who cannot even walk on his own. Obetime biare na chi. And that's a president is a president. So what decision I know take he manage a minor he can bath himself. Now president will be the guy. How can you take decisions very serious? So I think on the continent we really have to be serious. Now you move away from these trivialities. I also said, "Am I young? Quite named and yes, sir, Captain. We will continue to suffer." Kofi Biana made the elections na baba.
Mama met me yesterday. Me da se mama masre.
I who minti
mama masre. Govi.
Captain. Mifi ekropong ekuapem. Na ekropong ekuapem, there are about 17 towns na eye ekuapem. Na baby aye we winim no visually ye Jubilee House, se Flagstaff House, and Chengpe near wo. Inti imagine Jubilee House. Imagine baby a Jubilee House wo. Now kwa kopem 37. Now kukusi Legon. Now kusi Medina Adenta Oyarfa. Now peko eyi mensa. Now befro popo no. Na wako abri no we sanga go through towns ni na atwam wo mampong nom ne ade fakofa tutu akọ manfe ubedu akropon ubekọ abriu ubekọ dewu monhwe kwan no na wo de be fa dewu ase asan besi kofuridua fiti Jubilee House one atre mu 200 meters in width. Now one sit down 500 meters high, just say almost 60 stories. Dang bako, munti da mekan. Dang bako, one si fiti Flagstaff House. Koka 37 ko yarefa kofa ekua pemem kroni na so kosi dewu sang besi koforidua ni na ye dang baako eye 200 meters wide 500 meters high. What Freddie see the line was Saudi Arabia. Worisi meno ka say worisi abusuafo down no car nkom obia utimu bia hospitals wom shopping malls wom hotels wom residences wom parks wom water bodies wom schools universities just say walk 1 mile bia you grow 106 miles 170 kilometers ni ameka ekura enu 170 kilometers down baako 60 stories high one esia fiti Flagstaff House kofa oyarefa kofa kua pema besi koforbia da soko one building fast trains bullet trains na namu inti wo namu a wunhia car pollution free
umpien ko ba bia
hia se obekọ ba bia captain se hospital cinema so upesa upo soccer ayi amphitheaters then na wo hwehwe wiase mu bribia no wo dan ba kunum wo freni see the line Accra to Kumasi enye 1 story enye 2 story enye 3 story eye ka kwanga eda fem Accra to Kumasi 32 years into me 32 years yentumi nyeye uko Dubai wanga tase abo ne dote 70,000 tons of rocks and sand wodi agupum insu ewo waves wodi agupum na wodi stilts esisim no wodi see a whole island our friends say Palm Jumeirah Island in less than 6 years. There were 275 parliamentarians. There were an executive. There were ministers. Wofi Satem Yasi over 127. There were ministers at the presidency. There were judiciary. There were all the advisors. Cathedral no onyankopon washe onyankopon bon wonge ntumi anwie onyankopon kura wonga ye no 419
na wo vote
na wo out vote
abusuafo sankrofo ye se monsangin vote ma won bio na won mmra opanyin mahama offer 9 billion cedis. No, they buy 122 billion cedis. Statistical increase of 1,255%. Over 122 now divided by 9. Na wunyaning. Enye Kofi Krantin a fact. Memenye propaganda. So, at the time now the rate dollar to cedi to dollar no was on average about 3. Kufori Fiso nebani. Na dollar to cedi na 1.3, 1.5. Meboa obeka chirem. Inti for 6 years now, average about 3% cedi to a dollar no. We accumulate debt from 9 to 122 billion. So what for change at 3 cedis to a dollar now? And yet the worst we have ever seen. In 2014, incidentally, the GDP tanked 20%.